Probando. Y seguimos probando. And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I am at the end of a long and often annoying week. Happy to be here. Happy to be broadcasting another
hmm
baseball game. And we don't usually do this. We don't usually spend 2 weeks down in the developmental leagues, but we're doing it today because we have a very important event in our international waters narrative, which is that the Navegadores' developmental affiliate, the Malditos, for the first
hmm
time have made it to the playoffs in the Liga Veraniega de Principiantes.
Ooh,
Last year, I believe they missed out on the wild card by a couple of games. They were second in the division, but didn't quite have the number of wins to make that happen. There's only one wild card per half of the LVP. This year they dominated their division. I'm trying to remember the exact number of wins. They ended up with, I believe their final record was 73-23.
that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. In fact, for a while there, the really impressive part is frankly that their losses are in the double digits, which tells you something about how quickly LVP games can turn on sort of you put in a bad reliever and he just gets absolutely blown up.
Yeah.
Uh, says DSI friend who's joining us on mic today. Hey, so I think this is the first time you've been here for a two-person booth game. DSI friend is a long time LNP fan of some note, but this they've generally only engaged when I've been doing playoff games by myself on our off days.
I see.
So
Welcome.
this is your first time listening to, as I said, the redoubtable Louisa, who has been our yeah. You're finally on the same time zone, which is great. I'm very glad to have somebody else joining us, and I hope everything is going okay for you, with your move. Um, so at any rate, you can see here a little bit of that if you look at the pitchers that have been selected for both of these teams. Neither one of them has a particularly good record against the other. Valentin Ramirez has gotten absolutely lit up by Naguabo, and Angel Aguilar has not done that much better against Canóvanas.
They, I'm trying to figure out anything. I can't really
It's
read the
just
numbers,
they have
but I
very
see that
high
they're,
ERA. That's basically it.
yes, and they're quite evenly matched for their overall performance, it looks like.
Yes, this is really. I don't want to say it's not a surprise because we could change this and, in fact, may do so before we deploy to the field. But partly that is because, again, I think we talked about this last week, but a lot of these managers tend to deploy their squads in the developmental leagues more for potential than for current ability. And so you might have a manager play a guy like Marcos Gutierrez, who is currently not a good baseball player, in the hopes that one day he will be from the experience that he's now getting in the minors. Ryan Rodriguez is another example. Prototypical leadoff hitter, I would say, for the Malditos. And if the important part was winning games just by itself, there's no way he's touching the field more than, one at bat every game.
Okay.
Maybe. But because we're talking about development here, that's the important bit. He gets to be leadoff hitter the entire season, even though he is currently, as you can see, ice cold.
It's always a shame for the playoffs, huh?
Yes. Now, granted, we do have choices. We are not limited to these players, and there are in fact players that we could put in for some of these spots that would probably be more helpful, shall we say? Like
Mhm.
you've got Abraham Sartika is here. He was one of the possibilities to get promoted when recently Chenda Su, a navegador, maldito of some note, who then became a navegador of some note. He was on the 1905 championship team. He recently tore his Achilles tendon, I believe.
That sounds so painful.
Yeah, so he's out for the next 3 months, which basically means his season is over. He won't be available for the postseason.
Yeah.
So we promoted Oswaldo Latenchi up to the major leagues to make his debut. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Rough. But
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. He's definitely overmatched by big league pitching right now, and instead just kind of like kept the carousel going down here with the Malditos. So we do have some options. There are guys that we could put in charge, and you may see them during this game depending on how it goes. But we're hoping the big strength for the Malditos has been their pitching that has been just absolutely much like the Navigadores pitching, has been absolutely brutal to face for their opponents, and we're hoping that that's what you're going to see today. Aguilar, if he gets in trouble, there's a big bullpen right behind him ready to go. This is a 3 game series, so we don't want to dig deep into that bullpen if we don't have to. Hopefully, he can give us a lot of innings, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, sounds good.
All right, let's get down to the field, see what's up. Okay, good. I'm always worried that the audience isn't going to get into it.
Ooh, there's that bridge.
There is that bridge. Let's see. The attendance at El Círculo Noveno, it's a playoff crowd, so they've added some seating. But what we've subtracted is apparently a good portion of the field.
I do see that. It's kind of a olive color.
Yeah, let's try this again. Hang on. I think I did the same thing that I did last time.
You set the field to 10 yards. Do they
Uh,
measure fields in yards? Probably not.
no, but what I actually meant by that is I don't know if I can get back into the game right now.
Tricky.
Yeah, you said it.
You think games would want to be played?
You would.
How about if we take a moment and I tell you about our wonderful sponsor to whom we owe everything?
Yes, please do that while I work on this.
Folks, I want to tell you about Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar Liquors. Now, I know you've heard me talk about these before, but did you know that 70,000 patients have been cured over 15 years with them? Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments all cured. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, which is inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And, of course, it is sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillermetti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very much, Louisa. Okay, I think I know how to figure this out. Hang on. This should work. That should have worked. Setting up, disabling the online broadcast should have done it. Maybe I have to actually make it go?
I'm not seeing a stream anymore, just so you know.
Oh, yes, sorry. I'll have to reshare the screen. Let me first make sure that this is actually going to get in there. Okay.
Have we slipped into a different time stream, perhaps?
Yes, we're in the multiverse right now. Yay! Field is back.
Woo!
Okay, so we can just get right into the lineups and get this moving. By the way, I would like to point out. By the way, for what I would like to point out that the attendance currently at El Círculo Noveno, this stadium here, right, probably beats the attendance at the actual Major League Naguabo stadium next door because, again, they kept their ticket prices high for some reason.
When will they learn? People must be boycotting them.
They are for 100%, but as it turns out, once you choose your ticket prices for a season, you can't re-choose them. So,
Interesting.
They're done for. So it's cloudy with rain in the forecast. Temperatures 27 degrees. Wind blowing in from center. Our starting lineups for tonight. First for the visiting Críptidos de Canóvanas. Leading off and playing left field, number 1, Nestor Gallegos. Do you think they give him number 1 so he knows what spot he is in the batting order? They
You
were
think he's
afraid
that
of,
kind of guy?
yeah, they were afraid if they didn't tell him that. That is how those numbers originated.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, turns out apparently Babe Ruth didn't know he was supposed to be the 4th in the batting order if you didn't slap that on his uniform. So, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't hired for. He was thinking.
Very true. Batting second, and the designated hitter, I always do that, number 50, Eunosto de Asa. Batting third and playing third base, number 9, Martin Rivas. Batting fourth and playing center field, number 12, Miguel Medina. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 30, Nicandro Salvador. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 23, the second, I believe, Omani player in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history, Amir bin Safar. Prince, son of the Blue? Safar? I believe it's related to Sapphire. I could be wrong here.
Oh, that's cool.
Batting seventh and playing first base, number 19, Emmanuel Leanos. If that had an accent and it was Leanos, it would mean read us. Batting eighth and catching, number 25, Emmanuel Alvarez. If this next guy is also named Emmanuel, I'm going to lose my mind. You have got to be kidding me. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 40, Emmanuel Luna.
Must have been a popular name at the time.
Mm-hmm. Emmanuel, you know, God is with us, and as it turns out, he is so with us that our entire bottom of the order is just handed over to him. Maybe this is why they were able to play second in the division.
Yeah, this might be a good move.
Mm-hmm. Divine intervention.
Yep.
And now, for the home, Malditos de Naguabo. Batting leadoff, the designated hitter, number 37, the fronterizo, Ryan Rodriguez. That is a Texan-ass name.
Yes, it is.
Batting second and playing shortstop, the Canadian, number 1, Wilbur May.
I hope he does.
Batting third and playing third base, number 46. Finally, he shaved off that rat mustache he had. The other Canadian, Trevor Ransom.
Woo, we know that guy.
Yeah. Only the help calls him Hugh. Batting fourth and playing center field from Haiti, number 35, Francisco Boucher.
Wow, we know this guy too.
We sure do. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 15, native-born Puerto Rican, who is definitely not 19 years old, no matter what he says, Marcos Gutierrez. Batting sixth and playing second base from Cuba, number 20, Telemaco Cárcamo. Batting seventh and catching, number 2, from Gaza, Ziad Mazin. Batting eighth and playing right field, one of, I believe, 2 Welshmen still on the roster. Number 23, Arthur Gleave. I am informed that Telemaco Cárcamo is a Cuban-ass name, which is good to know.
Yes.
And batting ninth and playing first base, number 18, Nicolo Zacayo, who is from the Marshall, what is now known as the Marshall Islands.
Uh-huh.
Here in the top of the first inning, pitching for the Malditos. Frank de Castillo's future successor as holder of the Mexican seat, number 17, Ángel Aguilar, Ángel de la Guarda, to his team. That's Guardian Angel, if you were wondering.
Nice.
Fastball, screwball, sinker, and splitter. He is currently sitting on a 1.85 ERA, 208 and 2/3 innings, 15-7 record, 178 strikeouts to 54 walks. He faces Nestor Gallegos, who is sitting at an OPS of 679, 6 home runs, 25 runs batted in, and is 1 strike into this at-bat. We got there a couple seconds too late, so let's see what's about to happen. Next pitch to him, and it is up the middle. Nestor Gallegos leads off with a base hit. It'll be a single, and Aguilar already got some traffic on the bases to work with. Wow, this crowd is merciless. They are drunk.
What are they mad about? Don't they like this guy? They're all wearing red.
They're already mad that he allowed a base hit.
Yes, okay, fine.
Here comes Eunosto de Asa, sitting on a 757 OPS, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in, man on first and no outs. Full count for him, and he gets him with a fastball down in the zone for strike 3. Angel Aguilar notches his first strikeout and first out of the night. Man remains on first. Gallegos looking to try and run for Martin Rivas. 767 OPS, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. First pitch to him, blown out, appropriately enough for a 767. To center, Boucher has it and takes it for out number 2. They cheer him, no problem. And here comes the double-barreled M, Miguel Medina. OPS of 770. 11 home runs, 44 runs batted in. This guy just loves double numbers. 330 at-bats, 288 average. He's just like, just put the same numbers together. That's what I want, more than anything.
Yeah.
They look nice
Those
that
are
way.
his angel numbers.
Those are his emotional support numbers.
Don't we all have those? I think so.
This is true. The entirety of middle schoolers right now have one very specific emotional support number.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel your trauma about those numbers, and I have never heard them myself, so hopefully I
Yep.
can keep it that way.
The other day, John Smoltz apparently said them on a baseball broadcast, completely
Oh, boy.
not related to anything about kids. He just happened to say them. And I said, if I was watching baseball and John Smoltz said anything that implied that he is aware we are in the 21st century, like a meme like that, I would just quit watching baseball. If he quoted any other kind of brain rot, I would quit baseball. It would be over.
Yeah, some things should be sacred.
I would just become a full-time basketball fan at that point. It's over. All right, here comes Medina. 2 outs, man on first, and does he get it through? He does! Another base hit. Gallegos running to third, and he's going to outrun Gleaves' throw.
Oh, man.
So Medina...
Maybe I understand the crowd now at this
Yes,
point.
now you're getting it. The deputy commissioner is so ticked off at Aguilar's performance that she's leaving the room.
Yeah, it's for the best.
So with 2 men in scoring position, here comes Nicandro, who may very well earn his name of Salvador. OPS of 886, 12 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Aguilar here, starting the first playoff game ever for the Malditos. Better tunnel down and see what he can do. 2 strikes, that's a pretty good sign, and he gets him! Escapes the jam with a fastball. That guy was hitting just 158 against Naguabo pitching, so there was a little bit of hope to be had there. And he gets out of the top of the first, allowing 2 hits, but doesn't break. We head into the bottom of the first, and here comes pitcher number 16, Valentin Ramirez. He's got a changeup, splitter, and cutter. He's sitting on a 2.04 ERA, 212 strikeouts, 66 walks, 20-4 record, 203 and a third innings. I'm getting the feeling, does Canóvanas have much of a pen? Oh no, they don't. They have 3 starters and 3 relievers.
Aren't most teams like that? Like they don't have a full pen like they should?
The developmental teams used to not be like that, but they have tended to just cut pitchers specifically
okay.
and not replace them.
Shame.
Yes, indeed. Here comes Ryan Rodriguez, 647 OPS, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in, and you can't see it right now because we're in the playoffs, but he has stolen 18 bases on 23 attempts. From San Antonio, by the way.
Nice.
Ooh, good job here for Ryan Rodriguez. He works a full count out of Ramirez and then knocks it into left field. That will be caught, but it's a good first at-bat there as Gallegos makes that catch. A 6-pitch at-bat, ending in a splitter flyout. Here comes Wilbur May, OPS of 689, 9 home runs, 30 runs batted in. The Canadian shortstop who, frankly, at this point, I don't know if he realizes he's probably never cracking the major league roster for Naguabo. He might for another team. 2-0 count. Maybe he's just happy to play ball, you know?
Probably, if he came all the way from Canada to do it.
Indeed. That is flown out to shortstop. Bin Zafar has it. That's out number 2. 3 cutters in a row, and he couldn't do much with them. And here comes his fellow Canadian, his countryman, Trevor Ransom. 984 OPS. So far the highest we've seen from either team. 16 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Big power bat. Let's see if he's brought it today. 2 outs. Base is empty. Ransom here could at least put the game on a little more even footing. He's batting .331 on the year, and on the 1-2 count, he strikes out. Gets him with a cutter, and Naguabo goes down with not much fight in this first inning. We get through the first, and we are in a 0-0 tie. This is normally where we throw in this day in LMP history, but frankly, I mentioned that right at the top of the broadcast. It's been a very long week, very tiring, and I just didn't get the time. So I'm very sorry, but this is going to be a no-frills LMP broadcast.
That's cool. It's casual.
Yeah, we're
Put
going
your
old
feet up,
school.
Enjoy some baseball. That's all.
This is the acoustic Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña. This is
We're sitting on stools as we record.
exactly. This is LMP unplugged. This is 3 ads and the truth is what this is.
What's the truth in this case? Baseball?
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Always.
All right.
Always. The way, the truth, and the light. Does that describe Jesus or baseball? Trick question. Both.
How many pictures do you think there have been painted of Jesus playing baseball? I'm guessing a million.
Not enough. There is remarkably, I do remember there being a baseball sketch that is like biblical baseball. I don't remember what show it's from right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe, I hope that this is a joke in the sketch and that I didn't make this up myself, because if I did, that's very cruel on my part. But I seem to remember there being a joke about the baseball going through the stigma on Jesus' hand at one point.
Oh boy.
And I say this as
Yep.
somebody who has made jokes about
Yep.
Jesus as a basketball coach before. Just imagining him walking along the sideline yelling at his players. You know who else got crossed up like that?
Oh man.
I even had the headline for an article about his coaching style. Usually he's
Okay.
the Prince of Peace, but during the game, he's the Lord of War.
There's a photo of him throwing a chair.
Yes. Yeah, I like that in your telling Jesus is just straight up Bobby Knight.
Yeah, of course. He's got that
I know-
feral energy.
I know one person would have agreed with you about this, and that's Bobby Knight.
Is he still alive? Probably.
No, actually, I don't think he is. I could be wrong.
I feel like guys like that live forever out of spite.
They do. This is true. Angel Aguilar, 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 16 pitches. He faces Amir Bin Zafar, 547 OPS, 1 home run, 5 runs, batted in. 0-2, and Zafar strikes out. Aguilar lo zafó. Let him loose on that one, a sinker away, and he went for it. Here comes the first of the Emanueles. Leanos is sitting on a 652 OPS, no home runs, 10 runs batted in. Do you know how hard it is to end an LVP season with no home runs? Everyone hits a home run in this league. I think you and I have recorded home runs in the OVP.
How did, I guess he figured it out though, huh?
He's just not that good. That's really what it is. 1 out, base is empty, and let's see if Leanos can do any better than that. 2-2 count, and he strikes out. A fastball inside, and he effectively used multiple pitches on that one, but he freezes him with the heater on the inside. Here comes Emmanuel Alvarez, the catcher, 656 OPS, 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Again, look at this again. Leanos has no home runs and a power rating of 24. The guy after him has a power rating of 9 and has hit 5 dingers.
Wow. That's wild.
2 outs and the base is empty for Emmanuel Alvarez, the catcher, and on the 0-1 count, he hits it. Oh, shortstop May cuts it off. Wilbur. He throws to first, and the inning is over. Canóvanas also going down without a fight here in the top of the second, and Naguabo has a chance to try and equalize with their MVP candidate starting at the plate here in the bottom of the second. Valentin Ramirez had 1 strikeout in his 13-pitch first inning. He faces Francisco Boucher. Now, you know what we always say. OPS is that wonderful number that if you want to know how fun it is to watch a guy bat, this is a John Boyce formulation, OPS is a good number to use. It's one number that tells you if this number is above this guy's probably a lot of fun at the plate. And you know we always say, if the OPS is past the Battle of Hastings, this guy is doing very well.
Yes.
Allow me to inform you that Francisco Boucher's OPS is currently 1100.
Whoa, that's in the Cousins War? We into the Cousins War for that one?
Like Matilda and Stephen?
Yeah.
Not quite. I want to say this is early Henry the First.
Okay.
It might be
Still
late.
very good.
It might be late William II, actually. I want to say he made it to like 1102. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody's going to tell us. Anyway, 27 home runs and 76 runs batted in. This guy has hit round trippers for days. Let's see what he does here against Ramirez after I hyped him up so effectively. 2-2 count. And he strikes out. That is exactly what I expected. Change up this time around. Up and in. And he couldn't do anything with it. Could not make contact.
They got such cool socks, is the thing.
They do. The flame socks, just amazing, right? So here we go. With 1 out and the base is empty. Here comes Marcos Gutierrez. He's new this year. 646 OPS, 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in. 1 out, base is empty. Let's see if he can do any better. 0-1 count. We're basically just looking for the hero who'll get things started as Gutierrez flies out to left center. That died a little too early. Medina able to camp underneath it. He's got it for out number 2. Bases remain empty for noted Cuban-ass name, Telemaco Cárcamo. 776 OPS, 15 home runs, 57 runs batted in. He's 5th in this half of the OVP for runs batted in with 57. Let's see what he wants to do here in the first ever playoff game for the Malditos de Naguabo. He brings Ramirez to a full count. He's only batted .239 during the year, and this time he breaks up the no-hitter. It's a base hit all the way into a left field corner, and Círculo Noveno not known for its outfield distance there, so it'll be a double. It's the first hit of the game, the first base runner of the game, in fact, for the Malditos. He hits a cutter from Ramirez and just lances it down the line. Gallegos unable to get there in time, and suddenly the Malditos have themselves a runner in scoring position. Here comes Ziad Masin to try and bring him in. He is not the man you want in this spot, I'll say that for him. OPS of 580, 4 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Mazin, like Angelopoulos before him, left-handed, very good defensive catcher. That's his role. But let's see what he can do. He batted 158 against Canóvanas, and here with 2 outs, as expected, he rolls out to second base. Salvador has it, throws to Leanos. Leanos doing a good job to pull that throw and end the inning. We're through 2. The Malditos, the Navegadorcitos, get their first hit of the game, but they strained the runner at second. Mazin going after a first pitch splitter. We remain tied at 0-0. What do you think? Who do you think is going to break through first here?
I think it's going to be the Malditos. I think the crowd's on their side, and they're going to pull it out because of that. Yes. How about you?
I think so, too. Normally, I'd like to do the contrarian thing and take the opposite side from you, but honestly, the Malditos have been so good. Statistically, I think the gods are with them, honestly.
Yeah.
Angel Aguilar is certainly going to make that happen. He's through 2 innings on 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 26 pitches, and he will face Emmanuel Luna. OPS of 510, 1 home run, 11 runs batted in, and on a 2-2 count, Emmanuel Luna goes down swinging on the fastball. Splitters and fastballs from Angel Aguilar to then face the top of the lineup. Nestor Gallegos, one of 2 ball players to get a hit off of him. 1 out, bases empty. Can he get some revenge here? 1-1 count. Gallegos launches that into left field. It's an easy catch there for Gutierrez. Out number 2. The bases remain empty for De Aza, who is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. And here on the 1-2 count, he strikes out again. Angel Aguilar has 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. The Críptidos unable to get anything going in either the second or third. And Ramirez will now face the bottom of the Malditos lineup. Starting with Welshman Arthur Gleave, formerly of the Cardiff Arcadians. And before that, in the Rincon organization. I don't know why they cut him, honestly. He should have been a big-time prospect for them. I guess they just didn't think they had the time to develop him, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like teams, they're real quick to trade somebody, a lot of the teams.
They didn't even trade him. They straight up cut him.
Oh. It's no good.
And that's a very good point, because they could have traded him, and I'm betting you a lot of teams would have given them players they desperately need. The Ingenieros are not doing well. The machinery is breaking down over there in Rincon.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep.
We love those guys.
We do. Arthur Gleave, 687 OPS, 3 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Ramirez got through 2 innings so far, and Gleave hits that one right to third base. Rivas has it, throws over to first. Gleave is out. Ramirez, for the record, was on 27 pitches over 2 innings with a hit and 2 strikeouts. He will now face Nicolo Zacayo, sort of underrated hitter for this team. He got added basically as ballast, as a dependable bat that didn't seem to demand much, and he's done quite well for himself. OPS of 923, on base percentage near 400 in this league, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Let's see if he brings some pop here. Says DSI friend, why'd they go with that name over in Rincon? Well, so you can take your pick. In this world, Rincon obviously used to be the site of a nuclear power plant, CONUS or BONUS. I never remember which one it is. In the world of the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña, Rincon is both where the first parts of the first insular government railway was laid down. It was called La Milicia because it was basically used to transport soldiers and supplies to the front in the north of the island. And it is also where the first pieces of artillery were delivered during the Revolution. These were the infamous English cannons that turned out to be cast-offs, pun intended, from the British Army and so on. And so they had a tendency to blow up or break down after very little use. And so a pitcher who tends to really quickly degrade over the course of a game is nicknamed in the LNP Cañón Inglés. The English, of course, call that a French cannon. With the bases empty.
A glass cannon. That's a different thing, right? But the same implication, right? That
Sort
you can't
of.
do anything with it because it'll just explode.
Exactly, yes. Well, I think a glass cannon is kind of a lot of damage, but it can do a lot of damage, but it will, if you so much as touch it, it'll be destroyed. Whereas an English cannon doesn't really have a whole lot of implication as to the destructive power of the cannon in question.
That's fair.
Destructive power towards its intended targets. Its accidental targets, maybe.
Yeah, it explodes more of an all-around kind of way.
Yes. Anyway, Zacayo there flew out to short right center. Emmanuel Luna had it, and with 2 outs and the bases empty, here comes Ryan Rodriguez, who's 0 for 1. Another full count. He flew out to short left last time. And he strikes out here on a pretty bad pitch. Splitter. As we are through 3 innings, this game remains, says DSI friend. Those were from the Ottomans in real life. I would believe that that the Puerto Rican Revolution got Turkish cannons sent through the English. That would be the kind of thing the British would do.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, we're through 3 innings. We remain 0-0. And before we continue with this ball game, we are, of course, going to have another word from another of our wonderful sponsors. These are, once again, real ads from the very real Boletín Mercantil de Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Folks, I'm going to tell you about an 8-year-old artist. And this is an update from January 29th, 1871. After visiting various cities of the hemisphere, in whose theaters she has been most vociferously lauded, the girl, Egeria Antonini, a wonderful artist, if we are to believe what we have heard about her abilities on the violin, has just arrived at our city accompanied by her father. We will have the pleasure of hearing her play together with her father, who is also an artist, and some others will also present concerts. And then an update from February 10th of that year. Only grand concert for the benefit of the girl violinist Egeria Antonini, the 11th of this month. That's the very next day. With the cooperation of the distinguished master soprano, Senora Cadena, senior professor Don Lorenzo Arquimbao, who will play the Copalogium, and senior professor Don Ramon Serriera. The company of dramatic aficionados, as well as the artillery band, directed by Mr. Arati, is also pleased to generously provide their services to the benefit of Miss Antonini. And when you come back to me in a few innings, we will hear the program of that concert.
Says DSI friend, the musical Nepo babies were always with us, huh?
Yes. I like the mystery of her father, also an artist. What kind? They don't bother to tell you.
Yeah. I tried looking it up. Could not find a word of it.
That's great.
By the way, other things I want to mention, although this might be in the program, but I don't remember if it is. Yeah, so I think I'll wait on one of these until the 6th inning, see if you mention it, and then I can jump in with some notes. But I did research most of these people, and it is very hard to find information on them, which is, it's very hard to find information on their origins, which is very strange, because there are plenty of mentions of them traveling in the Western Hemisphere. Egeria Antonini played in a lot of places.
I bet. That's kind of what you had to do if you're going to be a child prodigy, right? You had to be just on tour.
Well, if you didn't get to be, composer to the Holy Roman Emperor, then yeah, that was pretty much your one choice forward.
It's a nice gig if you can get it.
Exactly. By the way, love that she's named Egeria after the nymph who, after the undefined class of divinity that supposedly advised the second king of Rome, Numa Pompilius. She's the one who taught him how to basically do religion.
Okay.
And even the Romans were kind of like, yeah, I bet she did. Is that what they're calling it these days? But yeah, that's a weird thing to name your kid. I'm not gonna lie.
It sounds classy though, huh?
It sure does. But the problem is, everyone in that audience knows who Egeria is. So...
Yeah.
And this isn't the neoclassical era, when definitely the emphasis would have been that she was this wise, prophetic deity. This definitely would have been the one where they were like, oh, Numa was in love, wasn't he? Numa, by the way, more fondly remembered than Romulus as a Roman king. Which is very funny. He's the Godfather Part 2 of Kings. Only good sequel.
Imagine you're putting an orange slice in his mouth and he's smiling.
Yes. Yeah, people don't know this, but in the beginning of his reign, he was played by Robert De Niro.
Oh, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Italian.
Yes. I actually would pay very good money for a Robert De Niro Numa Pompilius movie. Just him doing all of his Meet the Parents BS as a Roman king. Yeah, that would be actually very entertaining, and I would be down for it.
Oh, you can tell what's gonna happen by the movements of birds, huh? Could
Yeah.
you tell what's gonna happen in my life by birds?
Mm-hmm.
Could you do that?
Says the aside friend, they didn't have oranges back then. Yeah, fair.
They hadn't been imported from Persia yet. I would have. Where? How did they get from Asia to Europe? Was it via Persia? I don't remember.
Practice.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't have made it all the way there yet. But yeah, I don't know. Citrus is really lacking in Roman cooking. They were basically just like, it's fine. We have sour wine. It's okay.
Yeah, we like bitter flavors. We don't care about sour and
I
salt. We love salt.
I learned this morning. I'm reading the books that no, like apparently they hadn't been oranges hadn't even been bred yet.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense because I know every citrus
Yeah.
fruit is a descendant of, I always forget this, the citron, the mandarin, the pomelo. The fourth one is the one that always escapes me. The kumquat. I don't
I
remember,
don't
but there's
remember. I don't
there's like
remember which ones. Yeah.
there's four original citrus fruits, and then everything is kind of a cross of those guys.
Yes.
Um, but I was thinking about, I'm reading the books that Netflix series Department Q is based on,
Hmm.
and they at one point they drink ricina, and I was like, I know that's resin, but what is this? And apparently what it is that amphorae used to be sealed because you can't, they're not barrels, they're not hermetically sealed. So
Right.
to seal them, they would use pine resin, and that would leach into the wine and give it a resin flavor. And so what they decided
Oh,
was, let's just keep doing that on purpose.
it's a real wood tar liquor
I
innovation.
was exactly. I was like, because that's what you want from your wine. You want it to taste like a tree crapped in it.
You want to imagine you're up on the hills overlooking the sea
Yes.
with grapes and cedars, perhaps? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what kind of trees
Yes. The
we're
Greeks,
talking about.
the Greek mind yearned for the Viking landscape. DSI friend, but
They had pines. They had cedars.
oh,
Very
that's
good.
right, the Pines of Greece. That's that famous classical piece. It's Pines of Rome. That's the joke from Fantasia.
I don't remember it. I mean, I remember Fantasia. I don't remember that part.
I also don't. I apparently watched Fantasia conservatively 2,000 times as a child. Do not
What
remember
about
any of
Fantasia?
it.
Excuse me. What about Fantasia 2000?
Nope. Y2K
Ironic.
was Y2K was too traumatic for me. I couldn't watch anything with 2000 in the title.
Oh boy.
Even 2001: A Space Odyssey was a little bit too hard.
Yeah, that one sure was boring. I fell asleep. So.
I wish I could have fallen asleep. What happened instead was much worse the first time around. DSI friend says they had etrogs and citrons in Palestine.
Ooh,
Etrogs
okay.
and citrons. Etrogs and citrons. There's a
And little maids all in a row.
yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you
What were you gonna
quoting?
say? Little Mistress Mary Quite Cherry, how does your garden grow?
And all I was thinking of is Bearsy Toads. Okay, now I got there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That took me a second there. All right, so the discussion of citrus in antiquity aside,
Hmm.
we're in the fourth inning of a ball game, and Angel Aguilar is through 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, and 2 hits on 39 pitches. He will face Martin Rivas, who's 0 for 1. Actually, I have one more thing to say about this Department Q book, but first, let's see what happens here. Make that strikeout number 7 as Splitter on the. That looks like outside, but not by much. He probably could have tried hitting that, but he didn't. So down he goes. Here's the other thing, by the way. In the series, in the Netflix TV show, right?
Ah,
Matthew Good's assistant, played by Russian Kurdish actor Alexei. I don't remember his last name. Manvilov, I want to say.
okay.
He
Don't
plays a
know him, I don't
Syrian
think.
man named
Hmm.
Akram Salim. Okay, cool. In the books, I knew that the character was named Hafez al-Assad, and I thought that's an insane thing to call a Syrian character because Hafez al-Assad was the president of Syria for like 35 years.
Oh, weird.
So I thought probably in the original book he's like Iraqi or something. So I read the book. No, he's Syrian.
Is that like a placeholder name? Like, I'll come back and write a different name later.
I mean, I hope. If it is, I don't even care if it is. That got past an editor.
Yeah,
Like, at some point, some Dane should have been like, no, you cannot name your character that, and that's why.
that's great.
Anyway, Miguel Medina, 1 for 1 on the day. 1 out, base is empty, and looks like he's going to work a walk here. And he does. He checks his swing in time, and here we go with the booze again.
Ooh, I like that gray and black uniform, but yellow shoes. What a strange choice. That's really nice.
That is a good combo for sure, especially with the gold logo on the cap.
Yes. Yes.
Here comes Nicandro Salvador. He's 0 for 1 with a man on first and 1 out. Full count for him. Salvador goes down swinging. Aguilar has struck out 8 and has a chance at 9 against Bin Safar here. Man on first and 2 outs. That was a fastball. Big at bat from Salvador there. 8 pitches he worked out of the lefty's arm. Zafar on the first pitch. Base hit. It's a knock into center field. Boucher getting rid of the ball as quickly as he can. They just go to the relay man. Sacayo with the relay. And Zafar and Medina safe in scoring position. Aguilar in trouble here with 2 men threatening. And Emmanuel Llanos 0 for 1 at the plate. This is where he has to tool down. Aguilar is considered to be a top prospect for the future of the Naguabo rotation. In moments like these are the ones he's got to watch out for. Can he prove himself here? That's the question. 2-2 count. Llanos strikes out. Aguilar gets out of the jam, strands 2 base runners here in the top of the 4th, and saves the scoreless tie. We go now to the bottom, where the Malditos have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th batters up against Valentin Ramirez, who is at 41 pitches over 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Wilbur May, 0 for 1 on the day. 1-1 count. And Wilbur didn't. It is hit to his opposite number. Ben Safar has it, throws to first, and that is out number 1. Limp at bat there, 3 cutters, and going down on a cutter inside that almost certainly would have been balled to. There's a reason you're in the minors, Wilbur.
Oh, tragic.
Trevor Ransom comes up next. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out back in the 1st inning, but the base is empty and out number 1 already notched. Let's see what Ramirez brings for him. It's a 2-1 count. Ransom lifts that one into center field, and it dies quickly out there. The wind blowing in helps Medina out a little bit, shortens up the catch, and it's out number 2. Slightly better at bat, and here comes Boucher. Let's see if he finally represents the breakthrough. He's also 0 for 1 on the day, but he's been doing so well, it's unlikely they'll be able to keep him off base all game. 1-0 count to Boucher. Boucher lances that one, and it's another one to center field. A bullet, but right to the fielder, and we are through 4. This game remains scoreless as we head into the 5th inning. These Malditos just getting shut down by Valentin Ramirez here. Only 1 hit off the bat of Cárcamo here.
I'm surprised no one's managed to score yet.
Same. Pitchers.
No one's really been able to get on base even in a significant way.
Yeah, very true. Although, well, Canóvanas has threatened a couple times. They've gotten bent to 2nd and 3rd, but
That's true.
it's hard to imagine Aguilar not being in control here is the thing.
Yeah.
So far. I was very much prepared to imagine him falling apart, in either of these, but somehow he's held it together so far. 4 innings pitched, 61 pitches, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. He faces Alvarez, Luna, and Gallegos. Alvarez 0 for 1 on the day, and on 2 strikes here, goes down swinging. That's strikeout number 10 for Aguilar. He's in double digits here in the top of the 5th, and that means he could easily have a 15 strikeout game here. 3 fastballs. He's really been relying on the fastball, which is interesting. I think he knows that that's his overpower pitch in the minors. In the major leagues, I don't think it would work the same way. Emmanuel Luna comes up next. He's 0 for 1. He struck out, and here on the 1-1 count, he lifts that one into left field. Gutierrez catches it. It's out number 2. And here comes Nestor Gallegos, 1 for 2 on the day. Aguilar is still looking for a little revenge there as the rain starts to fall. It's a 2-2 count here for Gallegos, and he is frozen on a fastball inside. Strikeout number 11 for Angel Aguilar through 5 innings. The Malditos get another clean inning here. This is just a question of which dam is going to burst first, really.
I hope you're right.
At some point, one of these 2 pitchers has to make a mistake. This can't keep happening.
It's true.
And to encourage one of these pitchers making a mistake, now batting for the Malditos de Naguabo, number 22 from Indonesia, Abraham Sartika. OPS is 698, 1 home run, 11 runs batted in. Let's see if he can bring it here. He's a better hitter than the guy he's replacing, that's for sure. Ramirez at 50 pitches over 4 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. 2-0 count. Sartika, center field, and another big arc that just lands for Medina. They really need to start going to left or right. This is unsustainable.
Yeah.
Telemaco Cárcamo here, 1 for 1. The only hit the Malditos have managed so far. He had a double down the left field line back in the 2nd, and it's taken them their sweet time to get back to him. With 1 out and the bases empty, let's see if he can bring the pain here for Ramirez a little bit. It's a 3-1 count. He works a walk. Cárcamo, the only batter who's really been able to get to Ramirez in this ball game. He now faces Ziyad Mazin, who is 0 for 1. Man on first, 1 out. 1-2 count. Mazin. Frozen. A cutter at the knees, and he is gone. Strikeout number 4 for Valentin Ramirez, who now gets to face Arthur Gleave. Gleave is 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see here. Yeah, there's nobody really much better to put in here, unfortunately. So let's see what Gleave brings to the table with 2 outs and a man on first. Can he do something here? I don't think he can. Grounded out last time, and here he pops up as they run, and it's the catcher, Alvarez, who has it to end the 5th inning. We remain in a 0-0 pitcher's duel. Both of these teams just locked in the tight embrace of death.
Very poetic.
Indeed. It's the top of the 6th, and meanwhile, in the other game that is happening today, Villalba and Aguas Buenas are in a 4-1 match, and they've seen 2 dingers already. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Top of the 6th, Angel Aguilar, 72 pitches over 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Faces Eunoso de Asa, who's 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out twice, but here on the 2-1 count, launches. Oh, that's danger ball right there. It falls into center field. Boucher launching it. And it's a stand-up double. Aguilar trying to go for strikeout number 12 there. Left a little bit too much of that splitter in the middle of the plate. That's a problem. With a man on second and no outs, Aguilar here's got to strand him there, or at least make them pay for each advance. So here comes Martin Rivas, who's over 2. He struck out back in the 4th. And here on the 1-1 count, no! That's a wild pitch! The catcher can't bring it in. Mazin has to chase it down. And the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. The first run for either team here.
Oh, boy.
I can just see a bunting situation happening here with no outs. Let's see what happens.
I'm afraid you said the dam would break, which implies a lot of runs to me. But I'm afraid it's going to be like an error. It's 1 run across, and then the game ends 1-0.
That is also possible, yes. But I did just mean the dam is going to burst in terms of which team is going to blink first, you know?
Yeah.
So, that was a sinker, a full count sinker that Rivas struck out on. Aguilar gets strikeout number 12, and we're going to start warming up in the pen. Let's see, who would be a good choice here? Well, let's have Liam Baxter go in there. He's a righty. And let's have... Oh, I didn't realize La Chataniere was a relief pitcher this year. He's usually been a starter for them.
Can you imagine trying to fit that name on the back of a uniform?
Indeed. Actually, you know what? He's actually a bad idea because he's also a lefty. So let's actually sit him down and put in Marinkovic. Anyway, Miguel Medina coming up next. He's 1 for 1. 2-2 count for him. He strikes out. Aguilar gets his 13th strikeout, which ties the record for Liga Jose Padilla, their half of the league.
Wow.
He's 1 out away from stranding a runner on 3rd that got there with no outs. This is big game pitching right here. I usually use another word instead of game in that situation, but you know. Here comes Nicandro Salvador, 0 for 2, and say it with me, he struck out back in the 4th inning. 3-1 count. He's walked. That's all right. That means Amir bin Safar comes up. Oh, wait, he has a base hit today. This could be dangerous. Runners on the corners with 2 outs as those fastballs went wild. Aguilar at almost 100 pitches here. And on the 1-0 count, is Safar going to do it? That goes to Aguilar. Aguilar makes the throw to first. He strands the runner. 2 base runners. The Críptidos unable to get anything going. And Angel Aguilar once again proving his bona fides as a playoff pitcher here. As we head into the bottom of the 6th, the Malditos remain able to keep their opponent under control. The question is, can they make Ramirez blink first? So far, they've only gotten 1 hit and 1 walk off of him with 4 strikeouts. Over 66 pitches in 5 innings. Not enough pitches. They've got to be working more out of him.
Yeah.
Here comes Nicolo Zakayo. The 1-2 count. Zakayo hits that one in the air. Right field, but it's dropping in the bucket for Luna. Out number 1. That turns over the lineup. Here comes Ryan Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Let's see. He's the designated hitter, so if we can find somebody better, I'm not opposed. I don't think I can put the backup catcher, though.
No.
No, I think that's a bad idea. Let's try this. No, he's a... Let's see. I need somebody... I need the split versus lefties, is the thing. Is he still better than him? He is, but not by quite as much. Still worth a shot.
All right.
Pinch hitting for the Malditos de Naguabo, number 10, Cicinio Treviño. Cicinio Treviño, 644 OPS, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and let's see what his stolen base numbers look like. Oh, he got caught once, and never stole a base successfully. Rain delay coming, so this might be where the error happens. 15-minute rain delay, not so bad. And on the 0-1 count, Treviño, who hit triple threes against Canóvanas, launches that one into center field. Is that going to land? It does!
Whoa! Incredible.
That's a sliding double. Cicino Trevino makes the most of his pinch hitting opportunity. And there is a man on second. The first hit they've gotten in a while. And with one out, there's a man in scoring position, which means the Fisherman's friends have arrived. Let's go, let's go. Get a new chant, jeez. Here comes Wilbur May, who's over 2. May, who grounded out last time, here with the full count. Grounds out to first, and it's basically a sacrifice hit as Llanos takes it to the bag himself. Trevino going to third, and it'll be up to Trevor Ransom to see if he can get him home. He's over 2 on the day. He's faced Ramirez. That was a long at-bat for May. He worked 8 pitches out of Ramirez. Let's see if that's enough to give them an advantage here.
Familiar situation.
Ransom, pitch number 1, bangs it into right field. It lands! That's a base knock, and there is the run. Ransom, with an RBI single, puts the Malditos ahead here in the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. Third base hit of the night, and Ransom, instead of swinging for the fences, dunks it into right field. Forces Luna to come up short and extends the inning to boot as Ransom now on first with Boucher coming up behind him. He's over 2 on the day. Ramirez allowing his first earned run at 81 pitches. Let's see what happens here. With 2 outs, we are going to make sure that our bullpen is nice and warm. And, oh, that's why Marinkovic is a... Wait. Why did he not show up on the list? Interesting. Whatever, he's there. Here comes Boucher, 1-0. Nope, that will not do it. It is caught. Oh, yep, he's out. Side retired on that one. 2 base hits, they get a run across. It's a ground out to third baseman Rivas, who makes the throw in one smooth motion. Good defensive play. And we're through 6 innings. Naguabo forces the Críptidos to blink first. They are ahead 1-0. And Aguilar has, in his bullpen, have 9 outs to defend that lead. But, before we continue with this ballgame, Louisa, I believe there was a program we were going to hear about.
That's correct. I'm going to tell you what this night of music is going to involve. First of all, the first part, the William Tell Overture of the Immortal Rossini by the Artillery Band. Some of those cannons might come into play there. An elegant medley from Rigoletto, performed on violin and piano by the girl Egeria. Cio Fossi un Angelo del Paradiso, sung by Professor Don Ramon Sarriera. Andante Casta Diva Norma, followed by an original serenade on solo violin by Signor Antonini. And the second part, the chorus and finale of Act 2 of the opera Poliuto by the Artillery Band. Venetian Carnival for violin and piano by the girl Egeria. Fantasia for Copologium and piano by Signores Archibau and Sarriera. Goodbye of the Guard to Milan, sung by Signora Cadena. Piece from La Traviata for 2 violins and piano by the girl Egeria and Signores Archibau and Antonini. And the third part, a 1-act comedy in original verse from Enrique Gaspar, entitled How to Correct Him Who Years. This is the function I have chosen for my benefit. My aspiration is simply to satisfy the educated public of this capital. If I achieve this, I will be happy with my concert. Said by Egeria Antonini. That sounds like a fascinating evening.
So, I guess this wasn't in this part of the program. The Copologium is an instrument of Senor Arquimbao's own invention.
Okay.
I researched him and found that Arquimbao is a Catalan name, and I was able to find the newspaper from Barcelona mentioning that he came from the Palmarian, not Palmarian, from the Balearic Islands,
Mhm.
and traveled to Barcelona to play there. And he brought with him this interesting instrument called the copologium. Now I know what you're wondering. You're wondering, Dro, amigo, compay, pana, loco, all the other middle names that Puerto Rican men have now, which I can't say on this broadcast. What is a copologium? What kind of instrument is it? Is it a piano? Is it a keyboard instrument? Is it a brass instrument? Is it strings? Is it percussion? I don't have an answer for you
Oh, no.
because nobody ever bothered to describe it.
It has 2 names, but it's never been described? I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like, not even the sound of it was described. Not even like, oh, it sounds like this. Like, that at least might have given us some clues as to what it was. But I guess in the 19th century, not only was it considered rude to, like, check your watch during a performance, but to remember any details of it was even considered gauche, I guess.
I'm wondering if it's one of those little miniature pianos that there's like 50 variations of miniature piano that all have their own names. That's what I'm imagining anyway.
That would be a good guess to me, I think. And it would make sense given what else Archambault played, but I don't know for sure, and that's what's bothering me.
Yeah.
Certainly the word copologium doesn't, like, suggest anything immediately to me, so...
Yeah, interesting. I guess we solved one mystery, which is Antonini, the father. He seems to also play the violin at least.
Yeah. That's the one thing I did know about him.
Yeah.
The family that violins together stays together, or some such. Because they don't
Apparently.
really have a choice.
Yes.
It's either they do that or, starve. Yep. Says DSI friend, I'm imagining something made of glass. Well, it traveled across the Atlantic with him, so if it was made of glass, it was the hardest glass known to man. It was vulcanized glass. It was dragon glass.
There we go.
Yeah, Archambault was making stuff with Valyrian steel.
Maybe he's playing those drinking glasses that are all filled to different volumes. That's a very elegant sort of
That would be
instrument.
very funny. If that's what a copologium is. I do like the idea that Archambault is like playing the Reigns of Castamere for Puerto Ricans, and they're like, we've never heard anything like this before. Wow.
We need a special concert in 3 acts with a child prodigy and a comedian to celebrate this.
How do I spell that? You know what? I'm just gonna put it in the chat. That's gonna be easier than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that the artillery band managed to get 2 different songs into this concert evening. Good for them.
Yeah, they would get more, but they have to reload in between the 2 songs.
That's right. I am not familiar with the opera Poliuto.
Neither am I. But I'll tell you what it's about, or rather, I was not familiar with it. I believe it is about the life of a saint, Poliuto.
Interesting. Okay.
It is, let's see here. It is a 3-act. It is Saint Polieuctus by Donizetti. Sure. Why not? Cool.
All operas are pretty much the same. Can I say that?
Sure. I don't care. Oh, there's an A in there. Interesting.
There is. I wasn't quite sure how to pronounce it. So.
For the record, Saint Polieuctus was he was killed during the Decian persecutions in the 3rd century. He was a member of a legion, and then he started tearing apart imperial symbols and stuff, and he was beheaded.
Ah,
So
jeez.
good for him. Light opera, am I right? It's actually a tragedia lirica by Gaetano Donizetti. Yep.
There we go.
Hey, C. Seiler. Let's see if this changes the fortunes for either team. We're in the top of the 7th. The Críptidos are behind 1-0 for the first time in this game. Emanuel Llanos will be batting. He's over 2 against Angel Aguilar, who is through 6 innings of 4 hit, 2 walk, 13 strikeout ball. He's got a chance at, I believe, tying the Liga Veraniega de Principiantes playoff game record. We'll see what happens here. Llanos on the 1-2 count, who struck out last time, goes down swinging again. That's number 14, and that sets the record for his league. 14 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. 6 1/3 innings is 18 outs. No, 19 outs. So he has struck out 14 of the 19 outs he's got.
Jeez.
He now faces Emanuel Alvarez, who is over 2 on the day. 1-2 count for him. Base is empty, 1 out. He strikes out, and that is strikeout number 15 for Angel Aguilar. The Malditos making it really impossible to follow up this performance, I tell you what.
Uh-huh.
And here comes Emanuel Luna, who's over 2 on the day. 2 outs, base is empty, 0-2 count. Will he do it again? Angel Aguilar strikes out the side. It's 16 strikeouts through 7 innings for Aguilar, and the score remains unchanged here, 1-0. So, at the bottom of the 7th, Valentin Ramirez trots back out. He'll be facing Sartica, Carcamo, and Mazin. Here in the... Oh, hell yeah, we've got some dialogue. DSI friend is asking Seiler if he knows what a copahologium looks like.
I'm very curious.
That's got to be that's the LNP fan question, equivalent of like the narwhal bacons at midnight or whatever that Reddit shit was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the equivalent. You go up to somebody and you're like, "Do you know what a copahologium looks like?" And then the other person slips you a Citrombo sticker, and that's how you know. That's a secret LNP handshake right there.
I tried to look it up, but all I got was, did you mean copperlight? No, I didn't. I know
Yep.
what a copperlight is.
Yep.
I know what that is, and that is not a musical instrument. Thank you very much.
I mean, not with that attitude, it isn't.
You know, there's a Zoo Tycoon was a game that I liked on the computer, and if you put in the secret code copperlight, it would turn all the animal poops to stone in your various enclosures.
And what was the use of that? Did that do anything?
The animals and the guests don't like to see poop, and it takes
Yep.
time and effort to clean it up. But if you use this code, now you have rocks you can just destroy easily, or people don't mind if they see rocks. So
Okay. This is I for the record, I did know that it takes time and effort to clean poop. I used to be a zoo worker in law, so
yes, but
And,
even
you know,
in video
I-
games, the verisimilitude.
this is the one thing they left out of The Sims. It doesn't take nearly as long to clean poop in that game.
Yeah. Although sometimes you'd have to lie down on the floor because you can't handle life right now.
That is true. But yeah. Well, how is that not verisimilitude?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I agree.
Oh, I understand. Yes. Although, also, it didn't take us long to clean the poop, but the toilet visits took 42 minutes, which might be relatable for you depending on your digestive health.
Yeah.
But it felt like a lot of things took way longer than they should. I would like to note that DSI friend has not yet gotten a reply, which makes me wonder if C. Seiler is researching this right now. Good luck. I tried. I really did. Valentin Ramirez, 6 innings, 83 pitches, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Faces Sartica, who is over 1. At home, Sartica is hitting .389.
Wow.
And here he draws a walk. Second walk for Ramirez puts Sartica on base, and things might get interesting here. Carcamo has gotten a hit and a walk so far in this game. He comes up with a man on first and no outs. Let's see what happens. Full count to Carcamo. And he strikes out. Sartica runs. Oh my God. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. And
Wow.
Ramirez getting out of it in style. Look at that. That's beautiful work from the pitcher and catcher there. Well done to match their signals, get on the same page, and nail both batter and runner. And it leaves Ziad Mazin in a tough situation because he's 0 for 2 on the day, and he comes up here with the bases empty and 2 outs, and, well, that makes us sad. So let's see here. What can we do about it? Can we? Nah, in a 1-0 game, I'm not willing to replace my catcher just like that. So we'll let Mazin do his thing. He struck out back in the 5th. With 2 outs and the bases empty here. He's going up. And on the very first pitch, he rolls it right back to the pitcher. Ramirez has it, throws to first, and that retires the side. The Malditos unable to get anything going here in the 7th. They're still ahead 1-0, and it's up to Aguilar to keep it that way. Baxter and Marinkovic in the pen, beginning to get a little bit tired, so we'll sit him down for a bit. We'll see if Aguilar wants to keep going, striking out batter after batter. He's got 6 outs left, so the maximum he can get to is 22 strikeouts. Here comes
a record of some kind? I
believe in MLB, no one has ever hit above 20.
Wow. Okay.
Kerry Wood, Max Scherzer, and maybe one other person have done it. In the LNP, the only person to have hit 20 strikeouts in a 9-inning game was Ezequiel Vasquez in, I believe, the first game of the playoffs against Comerio.
Okay.
I want to say I'm right about that. So here comes Nestor Gallegos. He's 1 for 3. 107 pitches for Angel Aguilar, and he opens this with a leadoff walk. Tying run on base there for Eunosto de Asa, who is 1 for 3 on the day. Aguilar on 111 pitches now. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts. Here we go. De Asa throws it to third. Ransom fields it, throws over. Zacayo has the pick. Gallegos advancing to second, but that is out number 1. Martin Rivas comes up next. He's 0 for 3. Let's see what Aguilar does against him. That was a fastball. Rivas, 2-2 count. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 17. Incredible with that sinker there. And here comes Miguel Medina, who's 1 for 2 on the day. This is dangerous. Tying run on second and 2 outs. 1-1 count. He struck out last time, but he got a single. This time he goes to short. May has it, throws to first. And the inning is over. Aguilar once again getting out of it with just a 1 strikeout in what most likely will be his last inning of the game. Unless the Malditos...
He's not going to make it to 20.
Nah, unfortunately. Well, actually, I guess he might if he pitches the 9th. We might let him start the 9th. See what happens. All right, here in the bottom of the 8th, Arthur Glebe is set to face off against Valentin Ramirez. I don't think there's anybody better to use in this spot, unfortunately for us. So he'll be allowed to stay. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Valentin Ramirez threw 7 innings, 95 pitches, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Here goes nothing. Glebe, who popped up last time he came up to bat on the 0-1 count, launches that one into center field. It's a long run, but it's a fly out. Medina able to catch in center field, and that's out number 1. Here comes Nicolo Zacayo. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 1 out, bases empty. He flew out last time, and here on the 2-1 count, hits it through. It's down the left field line. Zacayo has a base hit. The Malditos finally equalize the amount of knocks, and it's a double for Nicolo. A Nicolo Dobolo.
That's pretty good.
And with a man on second and 1 out, the batting lineup turns over. Here comes Cecilio Trevino, who had that heroic pinch hit double. So he's 1 for 1. Let's see if he comes up with another one of those. He actually hit worse at home. Hey, that'll play. He draws a walk. Valentin Ramirez's 3rd walk puts 2 men on for Wilbur May. He's 0 for 3. This is the most the Malditos have threatened all game.
Yeah.
Will it work? May with the bunt. I didn't even know they were allowing that to happen. Sacrifice hit to the pitchers. Zacayo and Trevino advance to second and third, and here comes Trevor Ransom. He is responsible for the only RBI the Malditos have managed today. Can he do it again? 2 outs, 2 on, both in scoring position. Ransom. First pitch to him. Knocks it into left field, and it lands! That's a base hit. Zaccayo scores. It's an RBI single.
Wow, they really wanted to make sure, huh?
Trevor Ransom made it 1-0, and he just made it 2-0. The Malditos doubled their pleasure, doubled their fun, but they most importantly doubled their lead. As they keep runners on the corners for Francisco Boucher, who is definitely looking to break out in a big way here. Gonna keep Baxter, and once again, I do not understand why Marinkovic is not available from that screen. We'll have him ready, though. Here comes Boucher. He's over 3 on the day. And on the 0-1 count, will he do it? Not quite. That is banked to first base. It's an easy one for Llanos. He goes right back to it. And that retires the side. Naguabo in the lead now 2-0 as we head into the top of the 9th. Aguilar will be allowed to start against Salvador, Benzafar, and Llanos. Baxter and Marinkovic in the pen. Aguilar at 124 pitches over 8 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 17 strikeouts. Salvador 0 for 2. Do you think this is going to be the final score? 2-0?
I do. I do think this is going to be the final score.
All right,
You?
here we go. Here we go.
What do you think?
2-1.
Okay.
Full count for Salvador, who drew a walk in the 6th. And he gets him. 18th strikeout of the night for Angel Aguilar, putting on a show for his fans. Here comes Amir bin Safar. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 1 out. Base is empty. It's a 2-1 count. He sends it fly out into left field and right into Sartica's glove.
He didn't even have to move.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Conway Adams now pinch hitting for the Críptidos, number 45. Conway Adams is doing quite well for himself, actually. OPS of 961. 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in limited action, 60 at-bats. Aguilar, I don't know. He can't get to 20 anymore. He could get to 19. Should we leave him in?
Sure, why not?
Sure. 2 outs, base is empty. Full count to Adams, and it's a walk. That will extend the inning, and here comes Manuel Alvarez, who's over 3 on the day. Let's see if getting the man ahead of him on changes the feeling there. 142 pitches for Aguilar. This is going to be his last batter no matter what happens, by the way. We're already stretching him, and 150 pitches is too much. 1-2 count. He struck out back in the 7th. He strikes out again. Angel Aguilar, 19 strikeouts, 4 hit shutout. And Naguabo blanks Canóvanas here 2-0 to take a 1-0 lead in the Serie Interliga.
Incredible.
Angel Aguilar, deserving full player of the game honors. 9 innings pitched, of course, 4 hits, 4 walks, 19 strikeouts, and a wild pitch. And he sets, remember, he set the record for strikeouts in a single playoff game with 14, and then set it again with 15, 16,
Yes.
17, 18, and 19.
Yes! I'm so glad he got there.
Says C. Seiler, Nolan Ryan had 19 strikeout games 4 times, all of them for the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't really know where to go with that.
Thinking about that dog calendar again.
Wait, what? Go
I
on.
told you the story.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, but go ahead.
When I was a kid, we had dogs, so we'd
Uh-huh.
buy dog food. And if you buy a giant bag of dog food at certain points, sometime in the 90s, you got a free calendar, and it was in partnership with MLB. So it was famous ball players with their wives and children, and dogs would be
Great.
the different months of the calendar. And Nolan Ryan and his wife and his children and I think it was a husky, not sure, but
Mm.
this entire family, including the dog, had these piercing blue eyes, and it was extremely creepy.
So what you're saying is that wasn't actually a husky, that was a werewolf. That was a member of the Ryan family?
Yes, I
Mm.
am gonna say that.
Well, Reed Ryan was a member of the Astros organization, and I have a feeling that he might have been a werewolf, so that would make sense.
And I thought it only made you good at basketball, so.
I don't. I actually wonder. Well, would a werewolf have an advantage of baseball now? Because back in the day when they didn't have night games, you
Uh-huh.
wouldn't even be able to transform, so it wouldn't matter.
True.
And now, well, you'd be bigger, so it's easier to tag you, right?
Yes.
Although that also means you can slug harder because you have all those muscles. You
Yeah.
run faster. That's true.
Yes. Your instincts might be heightened and
Yeah,
sharpened.
but that might not be a good thing.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be able to control yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And obviously you couldn't play in a full moon.
Yeah. Or would
Yeah.
that help? Mm.
Mm-hmm. And the uniform might be tough. Also, you'd
Yes.
definitely be your baseball team's designated wet guy for sure. You,
Don't know
you
what that means. It sounds gross.
every baseball team has a wet guy now. Every baseball team has a guy who looks like he came out of a swamp roughly 2 minutes before first pitch.
Okay, yeah, you could definitely be that.
One of them is even named Brandon Marsh.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. They're always like dunking their head in like the spare water cooler, shaking out their hair. They just they're like they look like they're dogs that were turned into ball playing humans.
Here's the thing, though. We're talking about werewolves and the possibility of them. Are
Hmm?
we missing the forest for the trees? Are you telling me there are already gillmen playing baseball?
I I don't think Gilman can play baseball because they can't play standard rules baseball. They might be able to play that Finnish one where like the foul territory goes into your
Oh, the water
it goes into
hazards?
water hazards. Yeah,
But they have already webbed hands. They don't even need gloves, so.
that's a good point. I think if you kept the grass hydrated enough, it might work because
Yeah.
they have
Mm.
gills. So the way that they process, pardon me, oxygen is going to be so different that
Well, they might be like those fish that can also use rudimentary lungs.
this is true. I don't well no, see my worry is stamina here. I think if they have to breathe land air for that long,
Hmm.
while doing all this physical exercise, it's gonna be really difficult, I think.
That's why they have to keep dunking their heads in the water
Oh,
butt.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're allowed to bring water coolers out there with them.
They can wear one of those hats. It already looks kind of like a baseball hat, but it's got the cans on it, except it's water.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Sure. It's definitely not beer. Alcoholic Gilman playing baseball.
If a Gilman drank a beer, he would die instantly. It cannot
Yeah.
be beer.
Yeah, the pH of his entire body would change.
Yeah,
Could Gilman play early 20th century PR baseball? No, that'd be worse. They'd have to be drinking rum.
yeah. And if they had to smoke, what a disaster.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how big smoking would have been at this point on the island.
I
I,
guess I'm saying Honus Wagner was a Gilman. I guess that's what I'm saying.
interesting idea. Franchise Time Machine says, "What the heck is happening here today?" Because they just came in with a rating party, and we're talking here about whether werewolves can play baseball. Ain't
Yes,
no
it's the
rule.
Halloween season.
Ain't no
Hmm.
rule that
Uh
says a
huh.
werewolf can't play baseball.
Exactly.
Show
That's the
me,
tagline
show me in the
from a
MLB
movie.
rule book.
Hmm.
Clay Dog One says gills do make a lot of room for all the chaw. At least that is true.
Yes.
That is true. I'm also I think we can say that vampires can't play baseball. They can, but it would be cheating because you could just transform into a bat to catch fly balls and stuff like that.
What if you, just transformed into a pack of wolves? Would that be allowed? Dracula could do that, I think. I'm trying to remember
Yeah,
the
he definitely could
novel.
transform into rats.
Okay, how about
Yeah.
that then? Is that
Wolves
allowed?
wolves is a more classic vampire thing. I don't think you can transform into multiple animals either. That definitely wouldn't be allowed.
But
Uh
you can transform into a cloud of bats, so
Franchise Time Machine says the MLB Players Union bylaws state no lycanthropes. Well, that is racist. I don't think
what
Roberto
if you get
Clemente would agree with this.
what if you get tested for lycanthropy during the part of the month when you have normal human blood? That's how you get around it.
I like this idea of. Unfortunately, they have gone to random testing precisely because of this.
Oh no!
Says C. Seiler, LNP is not MLB. That is true, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The funniest part of all of this is we are having this entire discussion during a game in which one of the teams was called the Malditos, i.e., the damned ones, and the
Yeah.
other team is called literally the Cryptids.
Yes. So, according to the rules, if a cryptid wants to join the team, they have to be allowed to try out.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I do think Sasquatch could definitely play. Not only could Sasquatch play
Yeah.
baseball,
Yeah.
um, you've seen Bryce Harper. I would argue that he already is playing baseball.
Would Sasquatch have to be a pitcher being so tall?
Uh, that's a good point. Yeah, and you would assume that he would not only the leverage, but he would almost if he threw over the top and had like a curveball, that
Hmm.
thing would presumably just tunnel its way into the ground behind home plate every time. It would just be irretrievable.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay Dog One raises a very good point. Says, I think Bigfoot would be a catcher. That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Because they
Hmm.
don't need the protective equipment, really. That's just for show. By the way, DSI friend says, who's designated Chupacabra on the team? Fun fact, the major league team of the Críptidos is in fact the Chupacabras de Canóvanas.
Nice.
Who won 2 championships back in the 19th century? 1872 over the Leones and over the Señores de over the Señores de Ponce.
Boo.
And in 1879 over the Ingenieros de Rincon, who had beat them the previous year. So, revenge
You don't
championship. Hmm.
you don't technically have to be a cryptid to kill a goat and drink its blood. That's all I'm saying.
I think human history bears that out quite well.
Hmm.
Says Franchise Time Machine. I told the Raiders before the raid that I just want to admit I legitimately read that as the football team, the Raiders. I told the Raiders before the raid that you have this great immersive universe, but I did not know to tell them the universe included vampires and werewolves. It does during
The
spooky
extended
season, I'll
universe.
say that.
Yes.
The Mocha team is nicknamed the Vampires because the Vampiro de Mocha was sort of the precursor to the Chupacabras. Um, by the way, this is something we learned talking about this project. The first anyone who tells you that the first sighting of a chupacabras was in the 1940s or earlier is incorrect. As far as we can tell, the first person to actually say they saw one, originally, the first time that that's a thing, it dates to like the 80s. And before then,
Wild.
there were creature sightings, but nobody had like really codified what they were. The Vampiro de Moca was one of those. I think its first sighting may have been in the 70s, but then people wanted to pretend that it had been around since like the 1910s or whatever.
Yeah.
And since we have been rated, I never get tired of saying this. Um, the When I was a kid, there was a mayor of Canovanas. This is why the team is called the Chupacabras. Who his nickname is Chemo Soto. His daughter Lorna with two N's is now the mayor there. Well, was when I was a kid. I don't know if she's still there. But Chemo, he was famous for two stunts. One of them is that he dressed up as a full-on cowboy in once again Puerto Rico and went on a chupacabra hunt with
Nice.
people and a shotgun. And the other is that when the governor of Puerto Rico said he was dead to her, he went to Old San Juan, went to the edge of Old San Juan, with a bunch of his supporters, got in a coffin, and had his supporters carry him inside the governor's mansion, where he then proceeded to jump out of the coffin and said, "Am I still dead to you?"
That's the kind of extra that I can really feel myself warming up to. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
What I'm saying here is that Eric Adams is actually like a replacement level Puerto Rican politician. If Eric Adams had been mayor of Puerto Rico, we would not have noticed. The whole Trojan coffin. I like this.
That's great.
And I knew DSI Friend was going to back me up on this. Anyway, so Franchise Time Machine asked for a vintage ad read. Should we maybe do one? I'm wondering if we should do one from one of the last couple games, like one of the ones that we did third or sixth inning.
Do you remember which ones those were?
No, I was hoping you did.
I only mark off ones that I read.
I
Let's
know.
see.
Let's see.
What is
Because
good?
there's been some really good ones recently. Let's see here. Last
One of
time
the
I
ones
know
was the-
Last time I know we
Yes.
did the Empire State Gas Machine at the end. I know that.
Yeah. Do you want that one?
No, we did it at the end. The last time we
Oh,
were
I see.
asked. Let's see. What about
The Taylors with their new cutter. We did that one last
we
week.
did
I
that
think.
one. But we did it during the regular you
Yeah.
know what? You know what? You know what I think the Raiders would appreciate? I think the
What's
Raiders would
that?
appreciate the pawn shop commercial. Because that one
All
is
right.
insane.
Let me see if I can find that. We have so many notes now. There's so much world building in this document.
Pawn shop of Don Francisco Tinaud. February 24th, 1871.
That doesn't do anything for me. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
February 24th, 1871, at number 46, Calle de la Cruz. The establishment, which I have the honor of announcing to the public, will open on the 24th of this current month, this very day. It is not a new institution. Pawning has been part of human history since antiquity, and today France, England, Germany, the United States, and all the most civilized nations are well supplied with firms dedicated to this industry, thereby proving that they have a natural origin and purpose, and that they fulfill an essential need for developed peoples. To wit, they remedy the urgencies of the poor, when friendship is powerless to help and charity cannot be requested. The pains and miseries of the domestic home find immediate relief thanks to a mere article whose value can purchase a day's sustenance, or perhaps the medicine necessary to save a dear child's life. They grant the artisan and the small industrialist access to sums that would be unattainable by private credit in order to extend the radius of their production and thereby reach a broader capacity for production. In certain moments, the more well-to-do call at the same door and, without harming their family's trustworthiness, always find resources with which to confront sudden situations that even the most prudent man cannot foresee. Even when vanity and vice approach their safes and lockboxes, it is all to the good, for they avoid ruinous transactions of the sort produced by a spirit whose blind impatience and passionate impetuousness leads to excessive speculation.
Can you read the note I put at the end of this commercial, please?
There is a note that there are 7 more paragraphs continuing on in this fashion. Oh boy, I think that entire block of text was maybe 3 sentences long, so it really gets away from you.
It is entirely possible. That's when I got tired and stopped translating. That the level this man is operating on is incredible. Yeah. This is truly galaxy brain.
Yeah. I still have the assertion that all sophisticated peoples of the world, going back to antiquity, all find pawn shops to be a natural and a vital part of society.
It says C. Seiler, some of these I cannot believe they paid for that column space. Listen, this is what we did before we had social media, okay? This is basically, I think I can get away with saying this. This is basically a shit post.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love all of this. And the thing I maybe hate the most is that I remember translating this and I didn't have to research almost any terminology in this. Normally I have to go look up a bunch of antiquated terms or
Mhm.
find, specific medicines and colors and stuff that I don't we don't have access to or we don't use anymore. But this time, no, I didn't need any of that because in every era we have this guy. This
Yeah.
person has not ceased to exist. Unbelievable.
He's a real payday loans kind of guy.
Yep, for sure. Yep. It's incredible, and I love that these are it. I love that this tells you the character of Puerto Rico at the time because for most of its existence, if he's a vampire, he could literally still be the same guy. But he couldn't play baseball.
Well, not yet. He's playing the long game, and he'll figure out how to change the rules over time.
Uh, Vampires can just play basketball. That's that
With the werewolves, think about it. Think about it, Joe. That's no good.
that seems like a perfect rivalry right there.
Too dangerous. That's what I think.
They could just like transforming into a bat and dribbling to yourself between a werewolf's legs. DSI friend, he just needs to move to Seattle. I hear the vampires have a league up there. First of all, that's in Forks. I have no idea where that is relative to Seattle. It might be like right next door.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That is the least readable baseball scene I have ever watched in my life.
I've only seen that movie in the Riff Tracks version, so I it's obscured a lot of the strangeness of it.
That movie is a great movie to watch while intoxicated. That is the only thing
All
I will
right.
say about it. I deeply enjoyed it. Um, Still, and thankfully, because I've obviously seen all the memes about it, like the vampire who brought an egg for a bag of eggs for his fake lunch and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
all of those are already there, and I do love that the color grading of the movie is constantly the same as in like the murder scenes in Saw. That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
You keep
that sure
expecting
was the
Tobin
style at the
Bell
time.
to just like pop out from behind somewhere.
Hmm.
Well, it's so you've got Mexico, right? It has to look says you never bought a beer and a bag of eggs at the ballpark. Listen, uh that's my business. Clay
Hmm.
Dog one. Funny hearing about that Riff Tracks version. I watch Riff Tracks all the time for background noise.
Oh, me too. And all the old MST episodes. Ah, so good.
Yeah, I need to get back to the MST episodes. I haven't done that yet. I tried watching several, and I think I got stuck after I watched one of the Aztec Mummy movies
Oh,
because
those are so boring.
they
Yeah,
really
those are
are. But I
rough.
was I was trying to pay attention, or rather, I didn't want to pay attention to it. But obviously, coming from the cultural background I do, I'm like, wait, but what is happening in this movie? So I'm like leaning into it when I'm trying not to. Dang, Clay Dog is a riff track stand everywhere. Don't know what that
Oh,
means.
it's very good.
Yep. Well, any final thoughts before we let him go, Louisa?
It was nice to see the Malditos win. And that's about it. I mean, I hope they improve. With them, I never consider wins and losses to be like final because I always think of them as at the beginnings of their careers. So I don't know. It's hopeful, I guess.
Yeah, for those of you who were not joining us at the beginning, what is happening here is these guys on the right here. This is a patron created team. Our patron K created the Malditos. Anybody who wants to, I'll do the plug. You know, real quick. When are we seeing the manatees again? Did they disband? Have we
Nobody
have we
disbands
had?
of the LP.
Yeah, nobody disbands. Everybody, if anything, it just continues expanding.
Hmm.
So that's our Ko-fi page. You can see the benefits there. But this is on the right, Naguabo with its unique logo. That's a patron generated team. It is the developmental team for the Navegadores de Naguabo. That's the major league team. They made the postseason for the first time this year. So this is the first postseason game they've ever played. after 4 seasons. They finally got enough guys who are developing. And we were really surprised that this wasn't either a blowout or a slugfest. This being a 2-0 game was maybe the most surprising thing. Says Franchise Time Machine, Manatee's underused as a sports mascot. Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, there's a town in Puerto Rico that's Manatee, and their mascot is a manatee, because how could it not be a manatee?
Mhm.
But their team is the Acropolitanos, the Acropolis Dwellers. I don't know that we've. I don't know that there's a team called the Manatees.
That's weird.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, manatees aren't known for their athletic prowess, so there's that.
Acropolis
They just
Dwellers
like
overused as a sports mascot. Yes, there's many teams with that name. Who can forget about all of those teams? It's basically Tigers, Knights, Acropolis Dwellers.
there are too many teams that are just kind of vaguely named Spartans or Trojans, though.
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on that,
and
right?
and not a single one of them gets the helmet right. Yeah, at
Yeah.
least we did it on purpose.
Yes.
Actually, no, I researched an Athenian helmet for that one.
Yes, I know. I drew it.
Yeah,
Everything's
Bulldogs.
accurate.
That's Bulldogs. Bulldogs is somewhere between Tigers and Acropolis Dwellers on the list. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. The I don't think I've broadcast a team with a manatee with named the manatees at all.
Eh,
Yeah, she did draw. She did draw it. That did happen. You can see the. Hang on, I can show you that too. It's amazing. This is
oh, man.
what?
When I draw stuff, Joe will give me the references, like what I should think about when I'm drawing. So I have my little drawing square in the middle of my canvas, and then all around it, I have pinned up little pictures, like it's a murder board, and all my little references to remember exactly what a manatee looks like and exactly what this type of helmet looks like. It all
Mm-hmm.
has to come together.
Yep. We love this manatee mascot so much, and it kicked so much ass in the mascot bowl that it is. Clay Dog says, "Did you say murder board?"
Yeah, I just need that red string to connect all the pieces,
That's
but
right.
apart from that, I've got
Yeah,
it all.
yeah. I'm your Pepe Sylvia, apparently.
Yes. It all leads back to Pepe Sylvia for some reason.
You said it so casually, as if we all have murder boards. Yeah, you should uh, hang around and watch more games. You're gonna hear Louisa say a bunch of other stuff casually.
Like Honus Wagner's a gill man, I think that's an established fact at this point.
I think
I've
that's
heard a lot of
actually.
people saying it on this broadcast.
I think that's your fort. That saying the wildest stuff that we ever say on here, just deadpan.
Uh huh.
Not your forte. That's not how you pronounce it. It's your fort. It's your strong point. Anyway,
Yes.
the manatee is the rare mascot. It kicks so much ass at the mascot bowl that it is the rare mascot that we did an alternate design for, and I want y'all to see this because this is the best. I own this on a light pink shirt. It's one of my favorite things we've ever made. A huge fan. Just
And this is
abs.
a case where I'm drawing something and I'm like, maybe I'll just change the colors a little bit. I won't get too into it. Anyone who does a creative project knows what comes next, which is that I got way too into it. And I spent about 3 hours changing it. So,
Mm-hmm. And then you showed it to me, and I was like, "Yep, yep, yep." We put some Greek lettering around this, and we got it made.
mhm.
Yes. And yep. So anyway, thank you all for coming. This is wonderful. I guess we should maybe stick around a little bit in future games and just kind of talk it out. I never really considered that. I guess I have this thing where I usually think, oh, we're done with the game. Everybody just kind of wants to go home, but we're perfectly willing to talk things out, have conversations. This was a lot of fun. Turns out no frills broadcast. How cool is that? That was pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clay Dog, we're very glad to be rated. Please do.
Yes, thank you.
And if you can do so any earlier, which I know is difficult, schedules conflict and whatnot, but if you can do so any earlier, you'll get other ad reads and it'll be a lot of fun. And I guess I'll try to make sure we keep Clay Dog is just glad he found the kindred riff track spirit.
Yes. I grew up on MST. I probably started watching it when I was like 10 years old, and I've loved it my whole life.
Yeah, it's another show that I feel bad. You and I have talked about this, all those Comedy Central shows you used to watch and stuff like
Yes.
that. And I feel bad that all of these shows, probably at the age where it would have gotten, Clay Dog says franchise is just sick of me telling him to watch it. I mean, but all these shows, they came out at ages where I would have loved them,
Mhm.
but I either didn't know they existed, or my friends were like, you should watch this other stuff instead.
Yeah, it's hard being a kid.
Yeah, so I ended up, that's how I ended up, instead watching like Cowboy Bebop. So, it's
Mhm.
not all bad. To be fair, I was only resisting because I was an MST3K fan and mistakenly thought at Riff Tracks was ripping off MST3K.
Uh,
I mean, I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. That is what I thought at first too, before I realized who was involved.
Yeah. Cinematic Titanic, I like that as well, but not as much. I think I prefer riff tracks between the
Wait,
two.
wait, wait. What's this? Cinematic Titanic?
It's some of the other members of Best Brains and the MST crew who also riff movies. They're doing the same thing. They say they're not in a rivalry situation. They're friends about it, but it's just some of the other people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Fair enough. All right, gente. I should go I wanted to say deal with, but that's not the right term. I should go take care of the commissioner and deputy commissioner. For those of you who are unfamiliar, that's my dog and my cat, respectively.
Mhm.
And go on and do that. So as always, we will be back next week with probably more navegadores at this point because these playoffs will be over in a few days. The cat is the deputy commissioner for sure. She's been around for less time and generally doesn't like doing her job, so we had to stick her with the deputy job. We can say this: they both like baseball better than the actual commissioner of Major League Baseball.
Yes.
Anyway, we will be back next week with more. Yeah, fair. It is a low bar. You're right. Um, we will be back next week with more Navegadores action and probably either the playoffs next week or maybe that'll be the week after. It depends on how much I'm able to get through. But in the meantime, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil y Dios les bendiga.